So, I've just been eating some pretty great oatmeal, not gonna lie. But yeah, we're gonna go through some Reddit things I assume, I guess, I believe. Since in the past days, I think, well, the past week, I've been going through Reddit things quite often, and I've always found something, and I was always talking about something that I deeply believe in as being something that's important to point out, important to talk about, important to underline, to emphasize, to just spread it, share it, and so on and so forth. And this is the reason why I'm willing to go through another one. But yeah, I've just had to put my dog down and it's killing me inside. Please, fellow Stoics, I need some advice on dealing with this. As the title says, I've just had to put down my best friend of 10 years and I'm struggling so much trying to deal with my emotions and just don't know how to cope with such a loss. Any help would be appreciated. I want to know what Stoicism says about how to grieve losing a loved one. You can only control what you can control. Just take your time and grieve. Don't push yourself to be perfect. Thank you for the advice. I'll be sure not to push myself through this, but instead take the time to grieve properly for him and remind myself that in time I will be okay again. First of all, this, even though it is kind of a classic thing to say, but time heals every wound. Time really does give you strength, or time strengthens you, and time resolves quite a ton of issues that I had, that we have, and whatnot, even though at first glance things might seem overwhelming and incredibly difficult. It's in the end it's gonna be fine. In the end it's gonna be okay. In the end it's gonna work out, and with time things just do get better, no matter what it is about. And I mean, I can talk about a ton of things that really were bothering me emotionally. Breakup and also being rejected, by somebody, and so on and so forth. Like in the past, well, I would say 5 years, there have been quite a lot of instances of me feeling relatively bad, but I've forgotten about all of them, and or I've been able to deal with them quite well over this period of time. Even if 5 years might, seem quite a long time and a long time period, but in terms of the breakup is like, I don't know. And this, by the way, is also something that I wanted to talk about in some video, but I do just hope that she's doing incredible fine. I don't know, I just wish the best for her. I really do, I really want her to be happy. I do want her to find somebody that's amazing, that's better than me, that's whatever, that's fitting her life and her lifestyle and how she is, better than what it was like with me. Besides that, I don't know, like I just wish and hope and yeah, I can't do more than wishing and hoping for her family to be healthy, for her to be healthy, and so on and so forth. Like there is no, yeah, I just hope, I just hope, Also, and this is something that I've also wanted to point out, by thinking about this person and or about the dog and realizing all those great memories that you had and all those great experiences that you made, all those things that you've learned, and all the ways in which you can be grateful for the relationship that you've had with this person, this animal, this pet, this whatever it might be. This is something not to forget about. This is something to emphasize, and this is something to focus on, because it is important. It is just important. It's important to not forget about the good things, about the things that we have learned and we have been fortunate enough to, see and do and yeah. Your joy is your sorrow unmasked. Your canon companion brought you so much joy and love that your sorrow and grief is matching it. When my mother died, I couldn't comprehend the depths of my grief. When I embraced the concept of joy and sorrow being inseparable, I was grateful, while still sad. Your joy and sorrow are inseparable. The extent of your sorrow is evidence of the extent of the joy your friend brought. Your friend is gone and you may feel an emptiness. That is okay. Acknowledge that you loved your friend and you're grieving. Allow time to do its thing for your sorrow. Take comfort in the fact, in the belief that all events, including your loss, are natural and prescribed to you because you can take it. I wish you healthy grief and swift recovery in the form of happy memories. I mean, as I said, there's a ton of things to remember, a ton of good things, whatever it might be about. Hey, don't give up, okay? Another post. But I bet there are unfortunately so many people that really needed this one. Just don't give up. And I don't wanna, the thing is, I know it. I've had some pretty rough days the past, I'd say 2 months, kind of. And I've not been too happy. I've also had, health issues and stuff and shit and whatnot. But in the end, does it always have to be so serious? Do I always have to be so serious about life, about things that I do, about whatever? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think that I have to be this type of person. I don't think that I have to do these kind of things, I just don't think that I have to be that serious, and that we all have to be that serious about life, about what we do, about who we are, about whatever. There can be so much joy in life, and there can be so much beauty in life. And I guess by being too serious and too overly whatever, we kind of, I don't know, we take this joy that we could have in our life and fuck it. Yeah. And we're doing this ourselves. It's not due to somebody else. It's not due to circumstances. It's not due to whatever the fuck. It is because of us. Let's see. Today I learned in 1802, Napoleon added a Polish legion to fight off the slave rebellion in Haiti. However, the Polish army joined the Haitian slaves in the fight for independence. Haiti's first head of state called Polish people the white Negroes of Europe, which was then regarded as a great honor. Nowadays it could be seen as some racist shit, but this is also, I think, a good example of context. Context matters quite a lot when it comes to communication, when it comes to just also different things and other things. Context really does matter. I passed the math portion of the GED, which means I'm officially a GED graduate now. I know some people wouldn't view this as an accomplishment to be proud, but I don't give a fuck if you did it, and I'm proud of myself. I can understand it. I really do. I really, really, really do. How do I stop being an emotionally abusive person? I really need help on becoming a better, nicer person. I want to change. Where do I start? How do I stop being an angry, aggressive, unhappy person who self-sabotages every friendship and relationship I manage to have? How do I stop dwelling on the past, overreacting to small things, being negative and having low self-esteem and self-worth? Within the past year, I have realized how emotionally abusive I actually am. I didn't treat my ex-girlfriend right, so she could only take so much, and that is what made her end our relationship for good. I ruined it, and I'm struggling to swallow the hurt I caused her. By the way, this is something that I felt as well. Obviously there are reasons for why a relationship breaks up, and I've obviously also not been the greatest person. I could have been different, and I could have done things better. This is for sure, and this is something that I know. But the thing is, this feeling, the feeling of, okay, I'm regretting it so much. It's hurting me, I just want to say sorry and whatnot. Okay, say sorry. I did as well multiple times. I've been sorry for the things that I did and for the things that I said and so on and so forth. But at this point, well, not only at this point, but I guess somebody has to realize also the good things that one did. A relationship isn't, it depends on the relationship, the length of it as well. But a relationship is not going to hold for X amount of time without joy and beauty and all of the good things besides the bad things, which then in the end led to the relationship ending. But I mean, there's also the start of the relationship. So definitely also something to keep in mind and to not forget about. Like, doesn't always have to be one-sided, doesn't always have to be about the bad things, but also about the good things. You have clearly already realized the problem, and I admire you for seeking help to fix it. The hard part is taking the step to better yourself. I'd encourage you to seek therapy. Working through these issues with a professional would likely be very eye-opening. The first session is the hardest part, but I think your future self would thank you for taking the time to progress through it. I have, yeah. I just wish I realized it fully before the damage was done. Thank you. I definitely think I'm going to start therapy or counseling. I have always been too scared to. I have many issues to address. I can't keep it to myself for much longer. Thanks very much for your reply and support. I agree. You already taken the first step becoming a better person. It will take time and effort. Now that you've become aware of your wrongdoings, you will be more attentive and caring to your next relationships. Which, by the way, yes, this is also going to be the case for me. I'm going to think about things in a different way. I'm going to just think more, and all the bad things that we do and all the mistakes that we made, we are always going to learn from them. At some point, we're just going to learn from them. Period. Fucking period. Let's see if there's something else in the Stoicism subreddit to end this quick and little episode. I don't mind being all alone. I've been on a self-improvement journey for about 3 years now. Here are a couple of things I now do on a daily. Meditate, read, stop smoking, eating healthy, waking up early, cold showers, semen retention, stopped gaming, working out, got a job, investing in cryptocurrencies, much more confident and social, no social media except for Reddit. Well, etc. I'm now 21 years old, I lost all my friends and don't have any close people to talk to. I don't mind that at all. If anything, that makes me much happier. I have a lot of acquaintances, but none I care about. I'm very happy this way, a totally different person now. I treat every day as a new day and an opportunity to improve myself. I was just wondering, has anyone been in my shoes here and would like to give me advice? I wonder. Life's too short for the shit. For the shit, man. Absolutely be disciplined, but also live your life with its pleasures to a reasonable degree. Otherwise, what's the point? Underrated. Somebody else commented. Just adding in my own perspective. I'm on a very similar path as OP. It hasn't been about cutting out pleasures, just get my pleasure in a different way. Instead of getting pleasure from gaming unhealthy foods, I get it from simply being alive and living in each moment. I can see how many people would see someone as cutting out pleasures, as someone who constantly suppresses desires and doesn't have fun. Totally not, I also eat healthy on a daily basis, and I don't give a shit about that. It is what it is, I feel good. I know that I wouldn't feel good otherwise. I actually can't do it different now, I need to eat in this way. I need to live in this way. Because if I don't, I'm gonna feel bad about myself. Which is also some bullshit, but yeah. Bullshit. For me, true pleasure is not indulging in cheap pleasure. I would also say that balance is important. And I don't know, it is complicated, it really is. And I think that this is going to be a thought I'm going to end this episode with. If you think about things now, you have a certain opinion on things. But who says that your opinion is not going to change in 2 years, madam? Could be the case. Who knows? I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. And so the thing is, for me, it makes sense to live a life of open pathways, you know, to have a life in which you, well, you can choose, and you're having always a plan B, you know, so that if for whatever reason you're going to change your mind, you can go back to things, you know, you can always do that. It's going to just take a lot of time, and yes, of course, just being fully indulged into a path also makes sense, because you're going to put way more energy into it, and it's going to be a different experience. But what I want to say is that consciously cutting out all the pleasures, you know, when it is a pleasure for you, is not advisable. I've done it as well, and now I just think differently about things, you know. Back in the days, I probably have been working more. I've just been producing more videos. I've been putting more effort into things. I've just been doing this and that and these and those, and sometimes focuses just change. You know, when you're having a girlfriend, well, this is going to be your focus. Guess what? If you're not having one, it's also not going to be your focus. And so on and so forth. Like there's many ways in which life just changes and alters, and this is fine and okay, and this is also how things should be, at least at my point of view. Anyway, live your life the way you want to, and live your life the way you're happy. Bye-bye.